He'd sooner vote for Hillary Clinton than John McCain. What is she saying right now? Ann, what are you saying?
I guess I'm the representative of angry conservatives here. Sorry, that's what you said in the intro. Well, I thought it was very gentlemanly for Mitt Romney to pull out right before McCain spoke at CPAC. And it occurred to me then that if McCain weren't a dunce and weren't so contumacious, what he would do is take Mitt Romney as his vice president. That is the only way I think you could get me to vote for him, and that's my final offer.
Oh, really? Okay, so stop a second there. So if McCain chooses Romney as his running mate, Ann Coulter would be back in the McCain column.
Still not very comfortable with the man at the top of the ticket, but the man at the top of the ticket has said himself he doesn't know much about economics. Maybe Mitt Romney could help with that. And moreover, it would put Mitt Romney in the lead for 2012, which he says he will be looking at again. I think part of the reason he couldn't really take off this time was that people, I mean, manifestly, both parties are going to names that have been around for a million years. In Republicans' case, I think they are terrified by the success of the Bush derangement syndrome, and just leaping back. This is like nominating Bob Dole again. It is just, oh, he's been around for a while and the world hasn't blown up. That's why I read the New York Times 3 days later. I feel like they can't have done too much damage. The world is still here, and I think that's sort of the psychology of people going for a name they've heard forever.
Okay, I'm sorry to interrupt you. We have this audio issue I always have to address here, but let me ask you, Ann, about the reaction that not only Governor Romney got, but later on John McCain speaking to the same group.
Oh, yeah.
Now, I was expecting, to be honest, that Senator McCain was going to be almost booed out of there. He wasn't. Now, in the beginning, they were a little cool, polite, but cool. And then as he spoke and as it wore on, it seemed like he got more of a positive response.
No.
Maybe they're coming around to it.
No, conservatives are not that cheap a date, Neil. What happened was there were a lot of campaign workers for John McCain in the audience. I had college Republicans across the country emailing me last night asking me, I am the Ayatollah, asking me, can we boo John McCain tomorrow? And I said, no, we are not liberals, we can't boo. But if there's a lot of cheering, that's going to be used as a campaign commercial, that we are welcoming him to the bosom of the conservative movement. What gave it away was when he said illegal immigration and their spontaneous boos that break out. Sorry, the conservatives just couldn't help themselves with that. This is the man who has tried to give amnesty to 20 million illegal immigrants. And then very quickly, the boos gave way to applause and cheers. I promise you those were not conservatives. Those were McCain campaign workers. But that one, they gave it away.
Okay, but let me ask you this. I spoke to Clint Eastwood earlier today.
Yeah, I know. He bumped me.
But we're going to replay a portion of the interview where he referred to folks like you who are belligerently trying to say, look, this is not our cup of tea, as masochistic, that sometimes you have to let bygones be bygones. Who am I to speak for Dirty Harry? But that you have to move on, Ann. He's telling you to move on.
I am moving on. I'm moving on to the Hillary Clinton campaign.
No, you're not. I think that's just something you say to get quotes. There's no way you're going to do that.
I suspect the election will not be close, and I will not have to pull the lever for the she-devil. But I do think a serious argument could be made. I mean, it's terrifying that this is the point we've come to in this country right now, that a serious case can be made that Hillary is the more conservative candidate. I mean, you have John McCain hysterical about waterboarding terrorists. I think Hillary would probably like it.
Okay, let me get your sense of that Democratic race while I've got you here. Reports are that Hillary Clinton has dipped into her own fortune to try to continue financing her race. $5 million at last count. She just raised a little bit over $6 million since Super Tuesday. That's about a third what Barack Obama has raised. So money could be a big problem for her. What do you make of that?
Perhaps. I tend to put my money on the Clintons. They seem to have a supernatural evil force behind them. And also, one thing, everyone is pointing out, I think now, Hillary is winning in the states that it's plausible for the Democrats to win. Obama is winning in the states that it is not particularly plausible for the Democrats to win in the general election. So I think the smart money is still on Hillary Clinton at this point.
Really? So this comment that Howard Dean made earlier today, that if they don't have this wrapped up, I think, in April or May, that he might have to get everyone together and talk about an arrangement. Being of Italian descent myself, I thought immediately that sounded a little Sopranos-ish. But what did you make of that? What was he saying?
I don't know. Perhaps one at the top of the ticket, one at the bottom of the ticket. But, you know, who knows? I enjoy watching the Democrats fight as much as they enjoy watching us fight.
All right, but money will not be a factor for either of them, you think?
I don't think so. They're both collecting a lot of money. I mean, we'll see what happens, but I can't predict the future. I'd put my money on the Dragon Lady, though.
All right. Could I ask you a personal question?
My gal.
If you were to bump into John McCain, just right now, he just walked up to you, what would you do?
What would I do? I mean, there really isn't anything. You mean like try to extract a concession? There's nothing. I mean, the only thing he could do is invent a time machine, go back in time, not promote amnesty, not vote for or create campaign finance reform with McCain-Feingold, vote in favor of tax cuts, which he voted against, not become hysterical about waterboarding, not say he wants to shut down Guantanamo, not be part of the Gang of 14, not say Justice Alito is too conservative. He could invent a time machine, go back in time, and change his entire record.
Okay.
Okay, that would be a concession I could take, but I don't think that's going to happen.
Okay. But it would be very little hugging there, I guess. All right. Ann, very good seeing you. Thank you very much.
Good to see you.